How are you?
I'm just superb. I don't know what those words were, but I'm superb.
It's stupid and superb, obviously.
I mean, that kind of works too.
'Cause
How are you on this fine Friday?
I'd be better if it wasn't. Well, no, you know what? I'm fine with it being Friday. I was upset that I had to work today, obviously.
Always.
And now I'm just like, I'm packed. I'm ready to go on vacation.
So you just want to go?
Yeah, like now I'm just like, cause like I packed all like most of my toiletries, and I'm like, okay, well I still have 2 days until I leave. So yeah, but I'm just like I always pack early, just so like otherwise I stress about it.
Oh, same. And then I have to like unpack and then repack again like 3 different times.
Exactly. But anyway, yes. So that's where I'm at. And then I was
get it.
I packed 2 books. And obviously I'm bringing my Kindle. I packed what's it called? Georgie All Along, that one.
Okay.
And Twisted by Emily McIntyre. And I think I'm going to start though with something on my Kindle.
And do you know what that's going to be?
No.
I started X's and O's today.
How is it?
It's cute. I was gonna do Ambrosia, from C.N. Crawford, but then I was like, you know what? I wouldn't call Breath Mints deep, but it was gray.
Yeah.
And then coming off of Daughter of No Worlds book 2, I was like, you know what? I think we need light and fluffy. So I was like, you know what? Let me take one book off of my physical TBR and read it. It's cute so far. And I thought I was a little nervous because she's described as like a stage 5 clinger. So I was gonna be like, oh fuck, here we go. But yeah, like that, like just that exact face. I was like, what am I gonna get myself into? But it's not bad at all. It's cute. She's just like a little extra. And I'm like, okay, but I can, okay.
I love an extra character. I wanted to start Rogue, which is book 2 in like that Elle Kennedy series.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to bring I'm not going to finish it by the time I leave Sunday because like I just have too much going on beforehand, and I don't want to bring a third physical book if I don't have to.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So I'm going to wait till I get home to do that one.
And start that. That's smart.
Yeah. So whatever, I'm going to start something on my Kindle tonight or like tomorrow maybe, just so I can like read that on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably read the other 2 while I'm on the beach. But
and that's where I'll be. A third or a fourth by the time you're gonna read all of them. Everything that you set your mind to, you're gonna read it because that's just who you are as a human.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it just depends too.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the beach by yourself, like you're gonna fly through a book.
That's why I brought the Georgie All Along and Twisted because I feel like I'm gonna like get through them in like maybe like 2 sittings. Yeah. My mom will be at the beach with me and she can get chatty. I already told her, I said, when I'm at the beach.
I was going to say, if Big T's coming with you, you might need to be like, listen, lady, you sit there and shut up or don't.
And I'm going to be with my brother and she's not going to listen. I'll be with my brother and his wife too. And like Erica and I are like super duper close. So I think I'm going to have to be like, guys, I'm going into my room. Everybody leave me alone. I need an hour or 2 to read.
You need to do
I say that now, and then I'll probably just be like,
are we gonna go do something?
Yeah. But when this episode airs, I'll be tan already.
Bitch.
I know. But yeah, Breath Mints and Battle Scars.
And Battle Scars.
This is our first dabbling of Dramione fanfic. And
your analogy was the best. I think that when you, Mary, and I were talking about, because I was nervous about associating the characters from the original series in this. And though you know that they are the original characters, I wasn't envisioning like Hermione Granger as Hermione Granger, if that makes sense. But you said it really good in the text messages. Would you care to repeat?
I assume it was my Marvel like comparison and like so the multiverse. They exist, they're the same character, but they exist in different timelines. So like, I'm not like, I wasn't reading this and like picturing like Emma Watson and Tom Felton. Like, I was not even like, aside from the movies, like I wasn't picturing the Hermione Granger of like even like Deathly Hallows. Like I was just picturing like a new character who I knew background information on, but I wasn't picturing them as the same characters. I think that made it easier for me to read.
Agreed.
And I really liked it. Like, I can't wait to read more Dramione fanfic now. I was picturing the Draco of Breath Mints as like an Aaron Warner type character from Shatter Me, where he's like not a good person. Openly is like, I'm a bad person. I'm never going to change. But like, you still love him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we loved him, because he was aware of his flaws. At least that's why I loved him.
And I mean, like,
I can appreciate that.
I don't want a toxic male love interest in like a contemporary romance. But in stories like this, like, I like when they're toxic. And Hermione was also toxic too.
Which is why I'm very shocked I liked this, because normally I can't handle two toxic individuals. But I like Shatter Me. I don't know. Sometimes I'm fucking weird.
Well, honestly, I think it's just the way that things are written sometimes. Like, I think...
That's true, too.
This is Breath Mints Battle Scars by Onyx and Elm. It's obviously a fanfic, so you're not going to find this traditionally published. You can just go online, find the PDF version, and download it onto your Kindle.
I read mine on the iPad. I don't know how you did the Kindle, because that text, I was like...
So, I found a different version, and it was regular... just like looked like the regular Kindle, because yes, I started out on the iPad with the first one that I found, and I was like, this is, my eyesight is great. Yeah. And then I was complaining about it actually, and Mary was like, oh, I have a different version, because I was like, I can't highlight anything. I was like taking like pictures of my iPad.
When did that conversation occur?
You were in there, and you like responded like to something else,
really?
like not long after. And I was like, oh, she must have seen it.
I was pissed I couldn't highlight it.
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker.
But yeah, so the story, I mean, like, if you know anything about Dramione fanfic, the story takes place after the war. This one, I know that there's like different, whatever. This one takes place right after the war ends. They're back at Hogwarts in their last year of school. And Hermione's not dealing with things very well. Who would expect any of these people to be taking anything well after the trauma that they endured? Like,
and again, everyone handles their grief differently, and how they, like, because she was kind of explaining, was it Ginny? Like, she's kind of back to being like fun, bubbly Ginny, but that might be what works for Ginny.
Yeah.
So
and she makes comments too about how like Harry like kind of has to put on like a front, because everyone's like looking to him as like the hero of the war to like see like, you know, how he's dealing with things. And like Ron like sneaks glances at like a certain spot in the Gryffindor like common area where like Fred used to sit, and she like notices these like little things, but like nobody really talks about the trauma. And then like towards the end, Harry's like, you never asked for help. Like, we're all here for you. All you need to do is ask. And I actually really liked the Harry in this, because like I didn't want characters that we love. Like, obviously, like, I love Harry and Ron. I didn't want them to become like these like assholes where like she was like they were against each other. Like, of course that happened like just for the drama of it. But at the end of the day, Ron and Harry were both very much there for her at the end. Harry more so than Ron, but Ron did pull through in the end. And I was happy about that, because like I don't want these other characters that I love to just like lose all their development from the original story.
Agreed. Yeah, like I like that Ginny, no matter what, had her back throughout the whole time, even though they were like calling him a different name. But yeah, like I really even though Harry is minimally brought up, like he's just a good guy. Like all you had to do is ask, which
literally
angel.
And that is like very Hermione too from like the original books. Like she's just kind of like never really asking for help. Because she's a badass bitch. Like she's everybody's first like female main character that they were like, yo, like I want to be Hermione.
I mean, even Draco says throughout this whole book, like, do you ever not just do something because you want, like, you don't want it, like, you want to do it? Like, anytime she thinks of something that she wants to do, she does it, but she doesn't just do it. She does it with like a bang. Like, it's all out. It's all or nothing with her, which is very Hermione.
Yes, and I loved like how much he hated himself for like caring about her. So at the end, like during the trials, you get a memory from Narcissa of the scene where Bellatrix is like carving mudblood into Hermione's arm, and you find out that Draco was there doing a counter hex or whatever to stop like the curse that Bellatrix was like whatever put like carving into her as like a way to save her, and that he always had like an infatuation with her. Like he hated her because he liked her.
Yeah, like he was not, and he says it says it's, oh my god, I can't talk today on a Friday. He says it perfectly. Like his dad wasn't around, like when his dad was around, it was a specific certain way that he had to act. Like he had to hate her and like like where she came from, and like he had to do better than Harry. But when when Lucius was away, I guess in book 3, I think that's correct from what I'm recalling, he kind of got to like open his eyes, take the blinders off, and like you're saying, like he liked her, but he knew he wasn't supposed to like her.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in like even in like the I was like, even in like the original books, like he struggles with being a Death Eater, and like he doesn't want to kill Dumbledore. I mean, he doesn't, obviously. Snape does it for him, but like he's almost, I mean, like he's an abused child, and like, yeah, obviously he was a bully and a dick, but you have to remember these kids were what, like 12? Yeah. And like the atmosphere that he was raised in.
Yeah, look, he's a product of his environment. He's doing like his aunt and his dad are doing, and like him pushing, and like speaking to Narcissa, like she's probably just trying to freaking survive, which like I low-key love this woman.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I feel like they're both just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I don't know, like if a really horrible person came to me and was like, I'm going to kill you, or like you have to do bad stuff, I'd probably do bad stuff.
Yeah, no, I would too.
It's like self-preservation, especially when it's like your parents being like, hey, here, now you're part of this horrible secret society. Like, I mean, it's terrible, but I think you have to go back and remember that they were legitimately just children growing up in an abusive environment.
Legitimately just children. And again, like he says this is so well written, because he even says in this book, like, my dad wasn't affectionate. My mom and dad didn't like steal clit kisses and like do anything that signified that they loved one another. It was purely, sorry, I'm trying to plug my computer in because somehow this thing, why does my Mac always die? Like, I don't get it.
I can't help you with that. I don't know. I think you should bring it to the Genius Bar. Genius Bar, is that Best Buy? No, Genius Bar is Apple. Get a new battery. Maybe it's like,
but it's like a new computer. I just don't understand.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, like it said so well. We're good now. Technology inclined. It said so well about how like he literally didn't have like a loving relationship to look up to. Like he did everything he did because he had to, otherwise he would die, or someone else that he like, his mom probably would like die. Right. So he did what he needed to do. And I think the same thing goes for Narcissa. And oh my god, so I was just on Facebook, which like I'm never on Facebook, and ironically it was something about Bellatrix and how she was able to be defeated because of the strength of a mother's love for a child.
Yeah.
Because Molly Weasley was able to kill her, where like so many other people had such a hard time trying to defend themselves against Bellatrix. And like, even with Narcissa lying to Voldemort in the end, it was always said that he can detect a lie, but he wasn't able to detect Narcissa's lie about when she declared Harry dead. It was the love of her that she had for her child. It's like, this woman, like, low-key, I feel like in the background of everything was just like plotting and planning anything she could to ensure the safety of her and her son, mostly her son.
Yeah.
And like it's still here in this, which was kind of cool. Like, she did whatever she could to save Draco.
Yeah.
And like, that's the only love he has. Like, that's so sad.
Honestly,
he doesn't know what love is.
The whole time I was like, this poor boy. And that's why, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, because I love this. But like, there were just parts when I was just like, I just want Hermione to just be like the stronger person, which she ends up doing it. But at first he's just looking for love, and he's trying to push her away almost so that she has to prove, because like no one has ever fought to be in his life.
No, like they again said so well in Breath Mints and Battle Scars, people liked him because of who he was. Like, it was Lucius Malfoy's son. He was close to Voldemort. He clearly came from a lot of money. Like, it's a status thing. Like, he's like a symbol of like wealth and this prodigy child for the dark side. And yeah, like, even after like when they have their first sex scene in the hospital beds, he's dirty too. Like, the next morning he's so upset because she just didn't like choose him. She like ran out of there. Like, he was kind of hoping like she would be, it was like a pick me moment. And, like, she didn't pick him. She picked herself. Yeah. Which, like, I get it. Like, you're trying to like save face. Like, you're about to get hated on by everyone. But yeah, poor Angel Baby just wanted to be loved.
I know. And like, I just wanted to give him a hug. Right? Like, throughout the whole thing, I was like, all this boy needs is a hug.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love it. Okay, really quick, because I do want to get more into like their relationship, but I love Theo.
Oh my god, same.
Like,
he was fucking terrific.
I loved him. Like, he's not a character in the books, right?
No. I was so I was like, at first.
It's been a while.
I literally sat there and I was racking my brain. I was like, for someone he's definitely not in the movies, because those are my going to sleep things, and he's not there. Yeah. But the books, I was like, I really can't recall. And then I started doing some digging. I was like, I don't think this guy's a character. I think this is just like a new character.
Okay, because I was like, I haven't read the books. It's been like, the last time I read them, I think, was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. So I was like, maybe he was like mentioned, but like he's not a character.
But from what I was like looking and like what I remember, I was like, I mean, again, someone could point out that we're wrong. Please do if we are. But I loved him. I loved him too. He was so good. The truth or dare. Could you imagine being in middle school where you're already trying to like be cool, be liked, like whatever. Like, I'm envisioning Katie as a 13-year-old girl, which, like, scary. Like,
yeah.
Scary what we looked like at 13 versus these kids
braces.
Now. But like, just ew. Like, no, thank God I was done with braces, but just like, woof. Like, that is the best. Like, I feel like if I saw a picture of me in like middle school, we'd all just go woof. But like, imagine playing Truth or Dare in one of your friends' basements with a Veritaserum.
No.
I fucking shit myself.
I'd say, I'm not going to play, thank you.
Yeah, I'd be like, Mom, come get me now.
Mom, I'm scared.
Like, literally, because like the next day in school, you'd be like made fun of, like laughing stock, depending upon what's said. Like, could you even imagine?
No.
Literally no. Oh. And then I just love when like because she gets drunk a lot, which, girl, you get it. When she starts to slip, when like Draco's like, you'll hate yourself in the morning, and she's like, I hate myself every morning.
I know. There's so many. Angel. Like, she goes, I like the way I feel when I'm with you. You don't expect me to be happy or recovering or even fucking polite. You treat me the way you did before the war. You're rude and patronizing and violent, and you don't tiptoe around me. You call me a cunt and throw me into walls. You're horrible. You're horrible, and I fucking hate you as much as you hate me. When I feel the way I feel around the rest of them, I feel like a stain, like I'm tainting everything else. I can't explain it properly. I just, with you, I can feel as furious as I need to feel. You're so sullen and so mean that it doesn't feel like I'm ruining anything. It's already ruined. Which is like so toxic.
So toxic.
But also like I was like reading it and I was like obsessed.
Same. I was like salivating for it. I was like, yes. I also just loved her little rant when they're in the library about how he's attractive and she's always found him attractive. It was very Frozen like moment for me when Anna's like, you know, you're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
like it just like slips. But then she realizes there's merit to serum in the butterbeer. Which, like, that's terrific. She gets so fucking pissed at Seamus. Seamus is a little shit stirrer. Like,
bro.
Yo, like, he was fucking awful. Like, he was stirring that pot the whole book. I just wanted to, like, bitch slap him and be like, go fucking blow up a feather again,
but,
you little
asshole. But that's, like, literally so on brand for his character.
Which, like, I thought was so cool that she wrote it this way. Like, it's a completely different universe. It has obviously the same characters, but a lot of the characters had the same components of what they were in the original books, with the few like exceptions of like Draco and Hermione in this. Well, maybe not so Hermione. Like we don't know what kind of a closet freak she could be. And I loved like when they were in potions, and like her typical like the toothpaste scent that she would smell. Like it all turned into Draco, and then Theo was like, "Yo, dude, like go lighter on the cologne," and she's like, "Oh fuck." Like, let me mess this up on purpose.
I was happy how mad she got at him when he like purposely fucked her, knowing that Ron was gonna like walk in. Because at first I was like, I feel like she's gonna be mad and like let it blow over. And I'm happy that like she was like, I'm fucking done with it. Because like that part, I was like, that was disgusting.
That's fucked up.
And so manipulative.
It's slimy.
Yeah, I was like,
so slimy.
I was like, I will defend a lot of bad behavior, but that like really, I was like, oh,
that was low.
Yeah,
that was him being a little piece of shit. Like that was a shitty ass moment.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I have to read this too.
Do it.
Okay, this is from Draco. He says, imagine you fucked up your life so badly that you've started to expect literally everything to fail. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that when you leave your room, people are going to look at you like they want to kill you, seek you out, and repeat the names of the people they think you murdered. Just chant them at you over and over again at every given opportunity. Even that you had absolutely fucking nothing to do with Lavender Brown's death, or Fred Weasley's, or Creevy, or Bones. Imagine dealing with that every fucking day. And then imagine that somehow, accidentally, you stumble into something that possibly, maybe, just maybe makes leaving your room in the morning easier. Imagine being so fucking proud that you've managed to earn that one thing, win that one thing. Imagine being so proud that you can't fucking wait for, and god damn it, it cut off. But like I can go to the page, but now look me in the eye. Okay, yeah, now look me in the eye and tell me you'd blame yourself for seeking affection, for wanting it to look like someone still loved you, for wanting to feel like someone loved you or even wanted to be near you. Because this is when she's like getting mad at him because he's like showing like more affection towards Pansy. And then you find out that Pansy's using him to make Theo jealous, and like he's just using her because he's like, all he wants to do is be loved and to have somebody like care about him.
Starved for love.
Starved for any kind of affection.
Yeah. Or just probably just like attention. Like, and again, it's spelled, I'll keep saying this till I'm blue in the face. Like it's spelled out so well in this book about how like walk a mile in his shoes for 7 seconds. Like he was on the bad side. Like he gets it. Like he pretty much tried to cut his arm off just to get rid of that dang dark mark, which like we'll get into that. But like imagine literally having to go back to school at the place that you helped and assisted in so many different ways to cause such destruction and death.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine having to then face your classmates every single day?
No.
Like, no one likes you. No one gives a shit about you. And if you weren't there tomorrow, no one would notice. And if you died tomorrow, no one would care. And they'd probably celebrate
people
it.
would, I was like, or people would celebrate.
So, like, that's got to be... And again, like, what he did, again, in obviously the original books is incomprehensible. It's terrible. So I'm not condoning it. But, like, because he did it, just like Pansy did everything she did when you learn about her trial. She did what she did out of love for Theo.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, terrible things. But that's what Draco was doing. He was doing terrible things because he was put in those situations. And yeah, like, you could say he has a choice, and I guess you do. But I just don't think he was a strong enough person to ever walk away when that's all he's ever known.
Well, right.
And I think that, like, that's his friends were there, too. Like, how do you... That's got to be hard.
I think that if, like, he was 17 and someone approached him and was like, let's fucking kill the humans and all the mudbloods and whatever. And, like, he just, like... And then he was like, yeah, you know what? Sure, I agree. I'm on board with that. It's different than, like, being raised from the time that you're born to hate all of these things and all of these people. And, like, you see him struggling with it. Even in, like, the original books. Yeah, like, you see him struggling, like, with it. But, like, it's how he was raised. Doesn't make it right. But at a young age, like, you're not fully developed to be able to make those better decisions.
And again, you look up to your parents. Like...
Yeah, and when it came down to it, like, he didn't kill Dumbledore. Like, he helped Harry and them get... Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was stuck in a horrific environment, but the older he got, the better decisions he started making, even though he was kind of trapped in whatever. But, I mean, like, the whole Dark Mark thing, like... Ugh, it's, like, it's trying to kill him because he's, like, rejecting the... evilness of it.
It's like I equate that to how Wormtail, when he got the new hand from Voldemort, like, he had 1 second of self-doubt to help Harry, and it attacked him and killed him. So, like, I felt like that was, like, the same kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's finally having better thoughts, and therefore it is attacking him.
Yes.
Poor little angel. Like, you're trying to turn over a new leaf, and this is just coming after you.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, too, this is a fantasy world. Like, if this is real life, my opinions are very different. Yeah, like, I am the first person to be like, that person needs to be locked up.
Yeah.
But in
not
this
how we
world,
feel about real life people.
Yeah.
Fantasy, yes.
I need to be clear about that.
Yes, I think that's a really good point, because we're, like, totally defending him right now.
Because effectively, like, the Death Eaters are Nazis. Like, if we're, like, equating them to real world people
1,000,000%.
and, like, not condoning that behavior, but in this book, Draco deserves a redemption.
Yes, in the fantasy world, this is we're okay with it. But yeah, real life, fuck no.
Right, real life, I will be at your house, citizen's arrest. I was also
an eye for an eye.
Literally. I was laughing. They go back and forth, and he's like, don't call me Malfoy. And she's like, okay, well, then don't call me Granger. And he's like, but your name is so fucking, like, so many syllables. Yeah. Like, she's like, he's like, oh, he's like, oh, so many fucking syllables. She goes, oh, you poor thing. And then he goes, Hermione. And he goes, I mean, it takes ages to say. Like, you could just, like, tell he's just, like, gee, like, oh, my God. And I liked it. Their banter was funny.
Their banter was good, because, like, it was dry, but had, like, good snippets. And, like, I liked that she was wittier than I would have expected her to be.
Yeah.
Like, she's the brightest witch of her age, but, like, that doesn't mean you're witty. Like, she was funny here. I also liked that they called her Miney. I thought that was cute. I was here for a nickname. But I don't know about you, like, when he was sounding out, I was thinking of, like, how Victor Crumb was sounding. I was like, Herm-E-O-Ni. Like,
yeah. I love how they brought up, like, Victor Crumb, like, she was like, oh, like, you know, I think it was, like, after their first kiss, she's, like, comparing the kiss with Draco to the kiss with, like, Victor and, like, with Ron, and, like, I guess, like, a couple human boys, like, after the war that she, like, ended up kissing. And she's like, basically nobody kisses like Draco. But I was like, I mean, in the movies, in, like, the book, whatever, like, yeah, I love Victor Crumb. Like, I always just, like, forget about him, like, when it comes to, like...
Me too.
Whatever.
He, like, barely spoke. He had no words.
Yeah. And, like, he comes up, like, a couple times.
Yeah. I like that Ron definitely still has a crush on her.
Yeah.
I kind of found that, like, interesting that kept true in this one. Like, it was, like, she, like, keeps saying, like, it was supposed to be him, blah, 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 but, like, it never happened, and she didn't feel that way. And I will say, like, this is, okay,
I feel like everyone, I mean, me in particular, I feel like I have like two people like this who like, I could tell you, like, hey, we need to go to a bar. So like her and Ginny go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell you that I murdered someone. And all you would probably say would be like, we just need another round. Like we gotta work some shit out. Like,
Yeah.
And I love that Ginny did that for her. Like you're turning to your best friend in the time of need. You're finally gonna come clean with everything. And she was there. It wasn't like like whether she was judging her or not, regardless of what she was thinking, she was there for her friend. And I feel like everyone needs at least one person like that, where you can call and be like, I did something.
Yes.
We need a shovel.
I almost feel like this was like a Ginny redemption from the movies, because Ginny in the books I loved, and Ginny in the movies I was like, oh God, like just like
a wet mop.
Horrible. And like that, not like that's
when
not.
She ties Harry Potter's shoes. What was that book? Movie number 6 or 7? Part 1 of Deathly Hallows. The movie.
Is it? No, it's no. It's oh my God, it's my favorite one. Half-Blood Prince. Thank you. I'm like, it's my favorite one. Why can't I think of it?
When she like,
and then they kiss in like the room of. I just no, not for me.
Eyes. Yeah, no. I was like, what the?
It came off very icky in the movies, and it's like. It's just the way that she was written in the movies. I loved her in the books, and then in the movies, I was like,
terrific in the books.
So I'm like, okay, I'm happy that they like redeemed her in this again. I was like, all right, I love Ginny again.
I'm so with you. Because like I'll put myself in like those scenes and be like, could you imagine me getting down on my knees to tie Tom's shoes?
No.
Or
he can get on his knees to tie my shoes.
Tie my shoes.
I mean, if he was like, babe, can you tie my shoes for me? I'd be like, sure. But like to do it in like it was just weird.
It depends on the nature. Like, just had surgery, have a stomach that you can't bend over because you're 8 months pregnant. There's a couple different things, but like the way it was, I was like, this is so awkward. I was like, watch it.
The context, like it was just bizarre. It was just a bizarre scene in the movie.
There's quite a few.
I also loved his journal, like that we got to see his journal entries.
Yes.
And like they were so unhinged.
They were terrific.
I loved them. I love the one when he's just like, give me the fucking drugs, give me the fucking drugs. He's like, I fucking just need drugs.
I need the drugs.
And then you find out that he tells her, well, like they're like, having sexy time. He goes down on her. He's like, oh, you taste amazing. You taste like opium. And I'm like, and she's like, kind of like, okay, like, is that good? Or that feels like it's not a good thing. He's like, oh, trust me. He's like, opium is great. And I'm just like, that's great, Draco.
So terrific. I love the note that he also sends to Potter. I'm trusting Potter. Merlin, what a fucking concept. I was just like rolling. Like, he writes what he's thinking, and there's no filter.
Yeah. And like,
it's great.
So that's after they're all like rearrested, basically. And I think it's so like, I'm picturing it in my head, and I think it's so funny to picture that like for like a week or two straight, he's sending her like howlers every day to like convince her to like, he's like, I don't fucking want to see you, because he doesn't want her going to help him, because he's like afraid that she's like will be killed. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm just picturing these like howlers, like him in prison, like sending these. And then like her opening them, and it's just like him like, you fucking dumb cunt.
Literally.
Yeah, like I'm like
word for word.
Yeah. And it's like fun. I mean, it's not supposed to be funny, it's supposed to be very serious, but like it was so funny like picturing it.
Does that make strange? Should we be going to Azkaban?
Probably.
Or the what's the mental place there?
Oh,
what's it called?
Where Neville's parents are.
Mungo? Yeah.
Mungos. Yeah.
Mungos.
St. Mungo's. It's like I think that's like the hospital and like the psych ward, or St. Mungo's. Like I have so many highlights. I don't think I've highlighted like a book this much in so long. Probably since Zodiac Academy in like December. Like I honestly have so many.
I'm a little salty that I didn't realize that this was going around in a group chat, because I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that it's hurting her so much to earn me. No one's ever had to fucking earn me before.
But, like, seriously. Which is also, you come to find out that no one's, like, gone down on him. So, and again, it's like, like they were comparing, like, oh, it's a privilege to do that, and he's never allowed that for someone.
And because he doesn't want, like to give up control, and, like, letting her do that is, like, him relinquishing that control.
I also loved when he jumped in front of the Bogart for Hermione.
I know.
But then you see it's him look like it's his father in a mirror. It's like his biggest fear is becoming his dad. Let's just take a moment. That hurt. That hurt a little bit. I do also love that they give, like, nods to, like, Lupin. Where the hell was Hagrid? I wanted Hagrid.
I was wondering. Okay, yes, thank you for bringing that up, because I made a note, and I was like, "Where is Hagrid?" Like,
yeah,
it's weird that she's, like, wandering the grounds, like, at all hours, and, like, not a nary little, like, oh, and I ran into Hagrid, or, like,
just
anything.
no mention of him. Nothing. It was weird.
Yeah. Or, like, oh, maybe, honestly, like, what I thought was going to be, like, oh, Hagrid's, like, away doing some, like, wizarding business, and they were going to, like, use the cottage as, like, a bone palace.
With Fang just there watching.
Yeah. No, Fang would be off with Hagrid.
You're right, probably.
Yeah.
All of his
like,
drool everywhere.
Yeah, I was just like, where is he? What are they doing? I don't want to read this whole entry, but it's just, like, his entry from January 11th, 1999 is so good.
Do it.
Okay. A monologue by Draco Malfoy. Diary. No, I'm gonna try to do, like, a dramatic reading of it, but I can't be serious.
Are you gonna give us a British accent?
Nope. No, I'm not even going to attempt it.
Okay.
Nobody fucking taught me. Nobody sat me down and explained how the fuck I'm supposed to feel, what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to act. Mother and father never told me, yes, Draco, this is how much it's going to hurt, and this is how hard it'll be to trust, and this is what you should never do, never ever. No one ever drew that fucking line for me. No one ever fucking prepared me for the way it was going to feel, for how little fucking sense anything was going to make. For the way she started looking at me and talking to me and seeking things from me. Like comfort, like safety. What the fuck was I supposed to fucking do with that? Seriously. I asked her to fucking prove it, and then she fucking did. The fuckery here is twofold. A, this is fucking Granger. Granger who never fucking does anything out of her fucking comfort zone, unless it's for Saint fucking Potter. Granger who would never put herself on, or her reputation on the line for me in a million fucking years. I could have taken bets on it. But then also B, I'm fucking me. When the fuck in the last 18 years, has anything ever gone the way I've wanted it to, the way I've asked for it to? Therefore, fuck Granger and her fucking grand gesture. I thought maybe I could handle it. I thought maybe those fucking Patel twins or the Weaslett would come back from holiday and bounce around with joy for her at least. But Granger fucking crucified herself for me. And then suddenly it was my move, my turn to prove something, my turn to prove I wasn't everything she thought me to be, my turn to sacrifice something to lose something, and I didn't know how. I still don't. So fucking excuse the hell out of me while I try to find some semblance of what's comfortable, what's familiar, what I'm used to. At least my feelings about Weaselby are fucking consistent. Merlin, you should have seen his face. This is, like, after, obviously, he, like, has Ron walking on them. I want a portrait of that face to hang over my mantle for fucking eternity. It was everything I'd hoped for and more. Every ounce of, Weasley, watch me fuck her. Watch me fuck the girl you thought was always meant to be yours. She's not yours. It was fucking flawless. But then her face. She had to go and ruin everything with her face. She's always ruining everything with her fucking face. And then he goes on to be like, she looked at me, blah, blah, whatever. But she's always ruining everything with her fucking face because he loves her.
Yeah, because he's intrigued.
No, because he's in love.
I'm trying to find where, I just really liked her writing. I feel like it brought, obviously, life to the story. Like, it's very atmospheric. But I also just really enjoyed the fact that she does such a good, is it a female author?
I assume it is.
Okay.
Onyx and Elm is the author. And my assumption is, yeah.
Okay, but I like the way she brings, like, his feelings and, like, thoughts and things like this to the forefront, because I think it's super important to, like, understand what he's thinking in order to grasp like the full nature of what she's writing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Am I putting that? Is that right?
Yeah. Like you can feel.
I'm trying to find.
This is the part where he tells her that he loves her. He's like, "Tell me you understand. Don't take it all away." And then he just keeps saying, "He's like, don't take it away. Don't take away the only thing I can feel, the only thing that I want to feel." And she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Basically. And he goes, "I'm fucking in love with you." And then the orgasm rips through her like a tsunami. Like, never in my life did I think that I was going to be like, yeah, let's get some, like, let's, like, first of all, what is this movement? I never in my life thought that I would be like, oh yeah, let's fuck Hermione. Another diary entry. Diary. She's a cunt. I think I need her.
It's so good.
That's the whole entry.
Unhinged. It's amazing.
I know. I love it. Oh,
I'm trying to find this one quote that he, like, when he's explaining how she causes him pain. All I wrote was like 84% the pain comment, but of course, like, I can't.
Oh wait, I probably have it.
You might have it. It's obviously towards the end.
Make no mistake. Oh, this is good too. And he's like, "Make no mistake, if you get yourself taken away from me, I will kill you. Do you understand? I will bring you back from the brink of death if I have to, and then I will fucking kill you just so I can do it myself."
It's amazing.
I know. I also, okay, this one too. That fucking hair, these hands. 1 second, it's Pansy, and the next it's Gio on my knees for, and it's your cunt I can taste. This is like when he's like admitting to her that he, like, since he like started jerking off, it's always been about, like, he's tried to picture other girls, and it's all they can see is like her hair and her hands and like her face and like hear her voice. And I'm just like, oh. All right, 82%. Is this it? And now look at me. Now I do know you, and now I'm fucking hopeless. Now I don't lose sleep over missions or marks or my fucking father. I lose sleep over you, wondering what happens to you if I ever fuck up again. You want me to tell you you're pretty, so bloody beautiful, I want to gouge my fucking eyes out? You want to hear that after you took this stupid fucking organ out of my chest with your little fist? And then he makes a little gesture. You just fucking squeezed it until it looked fit to burst after I begged you not to stand between me and whatever consequences I fucking earned, after I told you I couldn't stand to have one more fucking thing weighing on my conscience after all this fucking pain you put me through. You want to hear what I think?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's that part, but there's a lot more.
It's a really good saga of how he like continues on about, because he always says like, you cause me so much pain.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I was kind of taking that as like, because she's essentially good, like she's a war hero, like what, like he's hurting because like he wants to love her, but like feels like he's undeserving of it. Like,
yes.
But this, I feel like, sums it up so perfectly. And essentially, yeah, like he feels very undeserving of her love. But he really kind of like explains
it's like, this whole thing, because that's when she goes down on him and she goes, was that pain? And he goes, of a sort you can't even imagine. Like because he feels so undeserving that it's like physically hurts him to like be with her, because all he thinks is that like he's going to bring her down or like cause her harm, and like he can't stay away from her, but he also like can't be with her.
Even when they finally like kind of come out, like he's low-key super pumped that everyone hates her, but also low-key super upset that everyone hates her.
Yeah, he's like I'm happy that like that's the thing too, like they both struggle with it, where he's like, I can't stand her, but I love her.
It's a love-hate, man. It was just written so good.
And then at like the end, okay, so after whatever happens with those dillweeds, the Aurors or whatever, he is like, he hands in his wand and he like exiles himself to the Muggle world. Yep. Which I think is just like so funny. He's like, I'm just gonna drink like hot chocolate out of flimsy cups, and like that's it.
Yeah.
And it takes her 2 years to find him, because obviously our girl's a smart little cookie, and her and Theo create like a spell so she can like track him. And they end up being back in love.
I do like, because at first I was like, is she just going to leave the wizarding world to be a muggle in exile, essentially, with him? So I was like, I know it's classified as a semi-happy ending. It's not like a happy ending.
Right.
But I was like, that's almost kind of like a depressing ending. Because like then she's removed from like everyone she loves. And backtracking, I was a little unclear in the beginning. Maybe you can spell it out for me. They mentioned her parents quickly. Are her parents still under the impression that she's no longer like she still wiped their memory, essentially?
That is the impression I got, is that when she wiped their memory during the war, that she never gave them the memories back, so they don't know that she exists. Okay. That was my impression.
Which, like, I'm kind of hoping maybe she chooses to change her mind once she, like, finds love and, like, herself again. But, like, who knows? But, like, I am glad that they found a way to reach out to Kingsley and, like, get Draco back involved with helping out. I think it's St. Mungo's, kind of doing what he was doing, essentially, with the diary entries. And then she's kind of back and forth. Because I was like, that's really sad if, like, she has to physically remove herself from that to be with him, which, like, I get it, you do it for love, like, okay, I'm here, like, I understand, but
yeah, but at the same time, like, I hate when it's like you have to give up your whole life just so you can, like,
Agreed.
have love with one person, because, like, one, that's just toxic and unhealthy. Preach. And, like, two, like, you shouldn't have to give up, like, your friends and your life and, like, every, like, yeah, like, Harry and Ron and Ginny are her family, and, like, the Weasleys, literally, like, Molly, like, that's her family. And, like, what she's gonna do, give them up for a man and, like, live in solitude with him without, like, no.
With no one? Like, nothing? Yeah, like, it's weird. It's, like, I'm really glad that it was written in a way where, like, she's able to kind of go back and forth. He's not, but she is. But right. I think he's very much okay with that. And I also like that you find out that his mom is aware of where he is as well.
Yes.
Because again, like, that's
and like like Harry goes and visits them, and like Theo goes and visits. It's like he's in exile, and like no one's supposed to know. He's basically in like witness protection. Like no one's supposed to know where he is. But like Kingsley's just like, sure,
he's like, have at it,
whatever. And like okay, and then the end too with Theo. So Pansy dies for him during like the battle, and then Harry and they bring him to like the clearing where the stone is.
Yeah.
And he gets to see her one last time, and she's basically like, okay, move the fuck on.
Yeah, like I'm with you every day, like this is fucking boring.
Yeah, she's like,
yourself. Thank you.
And honestly, it's like one of those things where I feel like he probably held on to it for so long because he didn't know how, like, he always had a thing for her, she always had a thing for him. Neither of them knew that each other had things for each other or were in love with each other. And then as soon as they find out, she literally sacrifices herself to save him. Yeah. So I feel like that's got to be like harder to move on from than like if it was like your husband or like somebody that you were with. I don't, right? Because like it's like there's so many what ifs.
I think that would kill me the most. Is like, oh my god, what if I just like copped and like said something? What if I like just told her? What if I like? Yeah, I think the what ifs would kill me more than like having the time.
Right.
And maybe not said that way, but like it would kill me in a different way.
Yeah, like I think that it would.
It's like the woulda, coulda, shouldas. Like
right, like he's like yes, like holding on to something that he never had.
Yeah,
because like, yeah, oh, poor Theo. I don't know if poor like Theo. If like there is like a Theo, if there's like a spinoff that's like Theo finding love, I would read that.
I don't know. I would read that too. I am excited to continue on this Dramione fanfic journey.
Yeah.
Probably won't touch Manacled yet.
I think that I will probably.
I know you would
do that next.
You can. I don't know. Based off of Mary's thought process with it, I was like, you all know how I feel about extreme emotional books.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But if there's any other great recs out there, please send them our way because there's so many that I think it's very hard to navigate. Like I almost wish there was like a diagram.
Yeah.
Like it'd show you like, you know, happy ending or like Harry's alive and happy ending or Harry's dead and happy end. Like, I don't know. Like
clearly there's so Manacled is, I think Harry's dead in Manacled.
I believe so. Which is like, again, fine.
Or the Death, I know the Death Eaters like win. That's
yes.
So I'm assuming Harry's dead. I don't know.
I know he's dead in a couple of them,
but like, yeah.
I'm like okay with. But again,
right.
I just
it's
feel
not
like
real.
It's not real. It's not real. So I can get past that. I've showed myself already, but I think I still need a happy ending. I'm a happy ending gal.
Yeah, I can read something that doesn't have a happy ending if I know going into it that it doesn't, but I feel like everything that I read does. Like, even if something sad happens, the ending is still happy.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like most people probably write happy endings, but again, I don't know. Like this is dark. Like I know Manicold is considered dark. Like I would consider Breath Mints and Battle Scars to be like a gray.
Yeah,
I don't think it's dark.
But like even like a dark romance, like
moments, but
like Haunting Adeline is like a dark romance, obviously, but it still ends on a happily ever after. It's just not like it's not like a fluffy like cotton candy happily ever after. But like
think of the genre you're in.
Right. Like the people that you people aren't dead and like people still end up together, but like bad stuff happens along the way. But yeah, I liked it. I mean, I will definitely read more Dramione fanfic now. We definitely have a lot of recommendations like already because we've asked for them before we did this episode. But if you have one that you're very passionate about, please
send it our
DM
way.
us. Yeah.
And maybe where you got it from, because I clearly screwed up with this one.
I think it's just like a matter of like, I think AO3 is a site that you can get it from, and I think you could just Google it and like it's just finding like the right version.
Looking and before actually reading.
Yeah, like fanfic is okay to just get online. You don't have to pay for them, so you're not stealing. It's for free. Because sometimes people are like, oh yeah, like I had somebody comment on one of our videos like, oh, if you just type in the name of the book in PDF, you can get it for free. And I was like, don't do that. That's a real published author. Like, you're stealing their work. No.
Yes, agreed. Like,
this is fanfic. You're just allowed to find. Yeah, you're just allowed to find this online.
I feel like, I don't know, especially because now that we talk to some authors, like I want to support them by purchasing their books. Yeah, that's their livelihood.
I don't think I've ever. This isn't like no. I mean, LimeWire.
This isn't me like Googling LimeWire or me Googling test answers for my genetic chemistry and like orgochem classes.
Yeah, no,
that's just cheating, and I allow that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but I won't steal work.
No, I won't steal authors' work. I will. Yeah, I mean, I don't have LimeWire or Napster anymore, but like back in the day, I was like, I don't care. I'm stealing this shit.
12-year-old burning CDs in my parents' bedroom. Yeah. Duh.
But yeah, so I think I gave it like a 4.5.
I think I gave it a 4.5 too.
But I really liked it. Definitely recommend. I think it's a good place to start too if you are new to the world of Dramione fanfic. I thought it was like very easy to jump into. There's really like no world building because you already know the world of Hogwarts and everything. But next week, spilling the tea, and then we have at the end of the month on the 29th our special Akasif reread. And if you know us, you know that we hate Nesta. Even after reading Akasif, like, I mean, I guess at this point it's been probably 2 years. I read it like when it first came out, but we're gonna go in with open, clean slate.
I think we're very open to hearing about why people love Nesta. Like we loved the book, we just don't like her.
I understand why people like her.
Agreed.
I don't, but I'm going in with like a clean slate, fresh mind,
and I'm going to see over the past years about like why people like her, so that could help.
So I'm going to see if my opinion on her changes at all.
Same.
I think it'll change a little bit. I think I'll be like a little bit more, what's the word? Like lenient on her. I think I'll come out liking her more than I do now, but I don't think that I'm going to be turned into like a Nesta fan.
Preach. I fully support that.
We shall see. You're going to have to follow along and see. So yeah, the 22nd, spilling the tea, regular, good old, what have we been reading, catch up on. And then the 29th, Akasif, and we will put out our April, I can't believe it's April already, our April calendar next week.
Girl. Okay, we gotta make some decisions.
I know. We can discuss tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all we got for you guys. So toodles, Katie, say it.